Chelsea are preparing to make a bold move in the summer transfer market, as the club has reportedly opened talks with the representatives of Real Madrid star RODRIGO. The Brazilian forward, long seen as one of the brightest young talents in European football, is now the subject of serious interest from Stamford Bridge, with Chelsea eager to add firepower and flair to their evolving squad. RODRIGO, who has played a vital role in Real Madrid's recent domestic and European successes, remains one of the most technically gifted wide players in the game. His ability to glide past defenders, operate in tight spaces, and contribute both goals and assists has made him a key figure in Madrid's attack. However, with the Spanish giants looking to restructure their forward line this summer and potential new arrivals increasing competition, RODRIGO's future at the Santiago Bernabeu is no longer guaranteed. Sensing an opportunity, Chelsea have stepped in. Club officials are understood to have initiated direct contact with RODRIGO's camp in recent days to explore the player's openness to a move and understand the conditions required for a potential transfer. The initial talks have been described as positive, with the Brazilian's entourage not closing the door on a possible Premier League switch. The move reflects Chelsea's continued push to assemble a younger, more dynamic squad. After a series of high-profile investments in recent windows, the club is still looking for a proven difference-maker in the final third, a player capable of turning tight matches with moments of brilliance. RODRIGO, with his Champions League pedigree and natural flair, fits that profile perfectly. From a tactical standpoint, RODRIGO could thrive in the Premier League under Chelsea's current project. His versatility allows him to play across the front line, though he is most dangerous when cutting in from the right. At Chelsea, where pace and creativity are in high demand, his skill set would bring a new level of unpredictability to their attack. Moreover, his experience at one of the world's biggest clubs gives him the mentality and maturity to handle the demands of English football. There is also a sense within Chelsea's leadership that now may be the ideal moment to strike. With Real Madrid reshaping their attack and prioritizing other long-term options, a pathway to negotiating RODRIGO's exit, once unthinkable, could now be open. The Blues are aware that any formal approach would require careful handling and potentially a significant financial package, but the early groundwork has begun. For RODRIGO himself, the prospect of becoming a central figure at a Premier League giant may be tempting. While he has enjoyed success in Spain, he has often had to share the spotlight with other stars. At Chelsea, he could be given a more central attacking role, a chance to lead the line, develop further, and take on a new challenge in one of the world's most competitive leagues. The situation remains in the early stages, and no official offer has been submitted to Real Madrid yet. However, the message from Stamford Bridge is clear. Chelsea are serious about RODRIGO. They see him as a potential cornerstone in their rebuilding process, and they're willing to move fast to secure him if the opportunity becomes real. Chelsea's approach to this potential transfer isn't just driven by RODRIGO's individual brilliance, it's part of a broader vision. The club is attempting to strike a delicate balance, continue investing in youth, but supplement the squad with players who already understand what it takes to win at the highest level. RODRIGO checks both boxes. At just 23, he still has room to grow, but he's already scored decisive goals in Champions League knockout rounds and featured in some of the most high-pressure matches in world football. Internally, the Chelsea board sees this as a rare chance to sign a world-class talent who is still entering his prime. While Real Madrid are traditionally reluctant to sell rising stars, the arrival of other Galactico-level players in Madrid this summer could make RODRIGO more attainable especially if the Brazilian himself becomes open to a new challenge. On the pitch, Rodrigo is seen as an ideal solution to Chelsea's attacking puzzle. He is capable of playing across the front three, but his preferred position on the right, cutting in on his stronger left foot, could fill a glaring hole in Chelsea's current system. The club has struggled to find consistency and creativity from that flank, rotating between underperforming options without a clear first choice. With the summer window approaching and both clubs preparing for busy off-seasons, this is a story that could quickly gather momentum. Chelsea's interest is real. Rodrigo's future is uncertain, and one of the biggest transfers of the window could be quietly taking shape behind the scenes.
Fabrizio Romano has reported that Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim is keen on bringing Pedro Gonçalves to Old Trafford, identifying the Sporting CP star as a priority target ahead of the summer transfer window. The news marks another significant development in United's evolving recruitment strategy, as the club continues to place its faith in Amorim's tactical vision and familiarity with top-tier talent from his former club. Pedro Gonçalves, a dynamic and versatile attacking midfielder, has been a key figure at Sporting under Amorim's guidance and is now seen as a player who could make an immediate impact in the Premier League. Known for his technical brilliance, intelligent movement, and ability to contribute both goals and assists from midfield, Gonçalves is the type of creative force that United have sorely lacked in recent seasons. His ability to dictate tempo, unlock compact defences, and find space between the lines makes him an ideal fit for the high-intensity, possession-based football Amorim is aiming to implement at Manchester United. The connection between Amorim and Gonçalves cannot be overstated. Having worked closely at Sporting, the two share a deep understanding of each other's footballing philosophies. Amorim not only trusts Gonçalves on a tactical level, but also values his mentality, work ethic, and leadership within the squad. Bringing in a player who already knows what the manager demands could significantly accelerate the adaptation process, especially at a club where new signings often need time to adjust to both the weight of expectation and the intensity of English football. United's midfield has lacked consistent creative output, and with the expected departures and potential reshuffling of personnel, a player of Gonçalves' profile becomes even more crucial. He offers fluidity and end product in the final third, something that has been missing despite the presence of talented individuals. His ability to function in multiple roles, whether as a central attacking midfielder, a winger cutting in, or a second striker, would give Amorim flexibility in shaping his attack around multiple threats. Financially, a deal for Gonçalves wouldn't be simple, but it could be realistic. While he remains a key player for Sporting, the Portuguese side has a history of selling top talents at the right price, especially when a former manager is involved. Amorim's presence could be a decisive factor in convincing the player to make the leap to Manchester, especially with the promise of a central role in a project being built around familiar ideas and ambitions. For Manchester United, the potential arrival of Gonçalves would not only reinforce the squad with quality, but also signal a shift in recruitment, one that leans heavily on the manager's input and targets players who align with a clear tactical vision. Amorim's attempt to reunite with his former midfield maestro could be one of the most strategic and impactful moves of the summer. Pedro Gonçalves, often referred to as Pote, has been one of the standout performers in Portuguese football over the last few seasons. Since joining Sporting CP, he has developed into a highly productive and intelligent attacking midfielder, known for his sharp instincts around goal, creativity in tight spaces, and versatility across the midfield and front line. What makes Gonçalves such a unique asset is not just his goal output, which consistently ranks among the best in the Primeira Liga, but also his football intelligence and adaptability, qualities that have made him indispensable to Amorim's tactical setup in Lisbon. Amorim, who recently took charge of Manchester United following an ambitious managerial shift, is believed to be very deliberate with his recruitment plans. Rather than merely looking for big-name players or marketing signings, Amorim wants footballers who can execute his system, understand positional play, and bring reliability in key moments. In that sense, Pedro Gonçalves represents the perfect fit. He's someone Amorim not only coached to great success, but someone who understands the pressing patterns, passing lanes, and attacking rotations that form the backbone of Amorim's philosophy. United's midfield has been a topic of concern for multiple seasons. There has been no shortage of talent at Old Trafford, but the lack of cohesion, creativity, and reliable end product has often left the attack disjointed. Gonçalves could directly address those issues. His ability to glide between the lines, combined with wide players and forwards, as always, when Fabrizio Romano speaks, the football world listens. With the transfer window fast approaching, this developing story is one to watch closely. If Manchester United can act swiftly and decisively, they may soon be adding a player who already understands what it takes to win under Ruben Amorim, and who could help them take a major step back toward the top of English and European football.